Все, короче, я про себя сказал. В воскресенье, может быть, будет стрим, может быть, не будет. Для информации заходите на мой стрим. Все. Всем спасибо, всем пока. Было очень круто с вами. Все, давайте.
Да, давайте. Ой,
Ой,
ну чё, чат? Технически должен был подойти Дака. Ему вроде как уже, так сказать, написали, голуби прислали. Ну, отослали ему, чтобы он, так сказать, вставал с кровати или шаурмы, или я не знаю еще с чего, но все мы знаем знаменитую историю насчет того, что Дака, он не постоянен как дух комментатора. Ну, при первой возможности он может свалить, словно дым, и оставить рубку одному. И навлести на своих товарищей комментирование покемонов.
Так, ну, а так что? У нас скоро будет ран Сплатуна. Надо, наверное, включить хотя бы трансляцию на всякий случай. Вот, еще раз, кстати, небольшой шатаут Кустусу за то, что он как бы помогает, ну, точнее, вот, вообще взял на себя ответственность, так сказать, проводить замечательнейший рестрим этих ветов, которые вы можете наслаждаться прямо сейчас. Потому что он комментирует рано даже при условии того, что у него там Горло до сих пор не прошло до конца. Э, Вот. Так, тем временем у нас начался Splatoon, да? Да, он уже начался. Твою налево. Ну, в общем, Splatoon 3 — это новая игра на Nintendo Switch про смешных кальмаров, которые стреляют краской. Очень красивая игра, на самом деле, в плане и спидрана, и экшена. Это очень забавный шутер от третьего лица. Такой. В общем-то говоря, основная суть этой игры в том, что мы должны не просто стрелять в противника, мы должны закрашивать территорию своими красками, и когда мы находимся на этой краске, мы можем как бы перемещаться внутри нее. Ну, собственно говоря, это и будет наша основная техника. Мы будем стрелять, мы будем закапываться в эту самую краску и перемещаться по ней дальше. Сейчас идет небольшая туториальная зона. Да, вот Лепоферфиш, эти вот смешные рыбы, если вы их не выстрелили, то они очень сильно взрываются, уничтожая все, что все, что может быть уничтожено, разбрасывая краску, которой мы стреляли. Вот, здесь мы находим нашего первого врага. Мы его полностью игнорируем, потому что он нам не нужен. Ну и, собственно говоря, проходим первый этап. И переходим на стейдж 2. Вот, и теперь как бы на втором уровне появляется основной гиммик этой главы, скажем так. Это вот эти вот загрязнения, которые нам нужно будет очищать. Эти фьюз, или как они там назывались, я, честно, пропустил, как он назвал их. Суть в том, что они нас инстакилят, если мы их касаемся, но при этом мы можем как бы кинуть бомбочку в самое его сердце, этого загрязнения, и тем самым как бы мы убираем его. И с помощью этого можно спокойно проходить дальше. Так, здесь у нас происходит небольшой десфарп. Мы используем наш, назовем это джампадом таким небольшим, который нас позволяет нам прыгнуть чуть повыше. С помощью него мы допрыгиваем до чекпоинта, умираем в пропасти и спавнимся на самом чекпоинте. Ну, собственно говоря, сейчас ранее немножко ошибся, у него не получилось нормально забраться по стене, но, в общем, да, с помощью закрашивания поверхности можно перемещаться не только по вертикальным, не только по горизонтальным поверхностям, но еще и по вертикальным, ну, то бишь по стенам. И это одна из частей платформинга, которую мы будем активно использовать.
This trick was
Nicely
actually
done,
found by
Agent
someone
3.
who's doing a can you not use your main weapon at all challenge. And so we like to thank that person. I forgot who that person is. I'm really sorry. But yeah. They found this and we've now implemented into the speedrun. I'm only going to do it a couple of tries because it's really, really precise and really, really finicky to do. So we're going to break inside this level and go inside this level, and you're supposed to collect keys to open this box. However, this first vault, you can actually not need to do this. So what you need to do is line up yourself with like this.
Так,
point in
сейчас
the
будет
box,
какой-то очень
break
сложный
these
скип.
boxes, walk a little
Вообще
bit
на этом
more,
уровне нужно
aim
было
up
на тикет
there,
включить для того, чтобы
and
открыть хранилище. Вместо этого мы будем пытаться
finicky.
закинуть бомбу нашу. Скип достаточно сложный. Очень сложно попасть в этот ящик нашей бомбы. Собственно говоря, поэтому ранее рассказал, что он попробует сделать его всего лишь 3 раза. Если не получится, он просто будет проходить уровень по-нормальному. И... О, отлично получилось. Закинул бомбу внутрь, триггернул, собственно говоря, то, что находится внутри. И теперь можно спокойно проходить дальше, не собирая никакие ключи. Так. Отлично. Ну и, собственно говоря, мы теперь можем активировать наш волт, хранилище, и закончить уровень.
Oh, system update? No, I don't want a system update. Oh, great.
Так,
Oh, great. Now I have to
тем
press
временем
up
произошел
once.
очень
That's
смешной
gonna be
мем.
fun. That's gonna be fun. We
Собственно
don't
говоря,
want
ранее
system
захотел
update
произойти игру,
ruining
потому
your
что
thing
так
on the run. That's
можно
gonna be
было
fun.
быстрее перейти на следующий стейдж. Но из-за того, что игра поймала, из-за того, что на консоли произошло обновление неожиданное, он не смог сделать это очень быстро.
Так сказать, свич-инцидент. Ну все, мы закончили с этим стейджем, и теперь можем переходить на 4-й стейдж.
Squid Surge allows me to effectively hold my squid and then jump up, which is great for like traversing through uninkable gaps. And then the second, which you're going to see a little bit more here. The second one is a squid ball, which you're going to see a little bit more later on. So
Да.
here, you're supposed to knock out these enemies, but you actually don't want to, because if you knock out these enemies, walls start to
Здесь
appear,
опять противники,
and
но эти
they're
противники
in
нас
your
опять
way.
же
So
не
you're just going
интересуют
to
никак.
basically ignore most of these enemies. Here we're going to use a pit of small fry tech, where we're going to actually throw it to distract the enemies and move them exactly where we
Вот,
want to
здесь
be.
как бы мы
So we can knock
кидаем
these,
бомбочку для того, чтобы
this
отвлечь врагов,
when
чтобы они
that
пошли именно так, как мы
platform
хотим.
appear, and then just to
Здесь
make
мы
it a little bit
наконец-то
easier, we
сможем
can
убить
actually
каких-то противников,
use the
потому
squish
что,
surge to
ну, они
actually
могут нам помешать,
cut
пока
a
мы будем
little bit corner.
забираться на
So
этот
we're
куб,
gonna use small fry to
на эту
actually
платформу, которая
then throw
поднимается
it
наверх.
over there to take out an enemy here, over there, then
Вот. Ну, собственно говоря, мы
enemy over
будем
here,
периодически бросать их для того,
that
чтобы
enemy
отвлекать,
over
чтобы они,
here,
противники шли по
that
правильному
enemy over
маршруту.
here, and then there's one more enemy we have to take over there, and then here we're just going to climb up this wall, stand right here, and then just wait a little bit, take out that enemy because there's no way, throw the small fry
Отлично.
to break
Ну
the
и,
zap fish,
собственно,
and that is
поднимаемся наверх и
the full
забираем,
level done.
что бы то ни было. И проходим до конца, и проходим наконец уровня.
Now, to activate this next fuzzy ooze, there is the safe way that I could do it, but I am going to be doing it a little bit of a risky way, where I have to like kind of hold my controller a little bit of a weird way, where I have to call back small fry, ink the floor, go jump here, and activate that, and there we go. You
О,
do die, but it doesn't actually matter. As long as
здесь
small fry hits
очень
the fuzzy
рискованный
ooze,
был
we
на
get
самом деле
to
стаб для того,
the
чтобы
main
убрать это
point.
загрязнение,
And I
которое
wonder
сейчас
what
было
boss we'll face
на всем
when we're
уровне.
coming up. We're here. We every time
При
play
нормальных
stages
условиях
and
нужно
wait a
было
second.
как-то по-другому встать для того, чтобы можно было
Wait a second, that's the
увидеть
final boss
сердце этого
already?
загрязнения и кинуть туда бомбу. Но
No
мы
way, am I
вместо
gonna be
этого
an
сделали очень
hour
рискованный
under
прыжок и
estimate?
в этом самом прыжке как бы кинули ту бомбу и убрали это загрязнение. Но единственная проблема, что мы, когда падали, мы упали прямо туда же и типа умерли, но это не важно, потому что главное, что мы его убрали и задрегерили кат-сцену.
Little fun fact about this little boss fight. There's actually two fun facts. One not so relevant for the speedrun.
Ну и теперь у нас будет наш первый босс.
If you don't move, he won't attack you
Octobot
until you
King
move.
L3.
He just like waits for you to do the first move. So that's why we are just holding up and forward. Up and forward, so he attacks the first time. The second thing to note is that this fight does have RNG, but it's actually like fixed RNG in a weird way. So he's going to be doing a certain patterns when it comes to his fists.
Так, ну и, собственно говоря, босс немножко рандомный, но немножко в плане того, какие мувы он будет давать. У него есть паттерны определенные, и типа неясно, какой будет у него паттерн. Но пока что он просто кинул свои 2 руки, мы сразу же их сломали, закрасив их полностью. И после этого он переходит на другую сторону. Так, здесь уворачиваемся с помощью нашей специальной обилки от этого удара. Дрелью. Ну, запускает еще одну руку, мы ее ломаем. И вылетает, когда мы ломаем этого робота, мы ему руки ломаем, из него вылетает, собственно говоря, наш противник.
And it basically requires me to use a splashdown and then immediately afterwards full small fly and wait for the hand. So we're gonna have to wait
Так,
here.
и босс приходит на вторую стадию, высасывает всю краску с локации. Но здесь есть один очень смешной сетап. Мы используем нашу обилку флешдаун дважды. Тем самым сразу же ломаем ему руки.
Which we do perfectly. And then now he's going to use the ink vacuum again, and then he's gonna throw another fist.
Вот, и теперь как бы для того, чтобы победить босса, мы кидаем бомбу ему в насос и заодно ломаем еще одну удар рукой с флешдауном. Еще одна рука, и теперь вылетает снова наш злодей в роботе. И снова закрашиваем его нашей желтой краской. Мужик теперь очень сильно недоволен, на самом деле. Начинается 3-я стадия. Снова откачивает всю краску с локации. Как бы на 3-й стадии он всегда делает сначала вот эту атаку ладонью. Поэтому быстренько ее убиваем. Снова засасывает все, что может. Get rid of the he's going to then fly this way, so you don't want him to go that way. That's very slow. You want it either to go behind you or теперь байтим ему, нужно, он встал именно в эту позицию, потому что на другой позиции он почему-то ведет себя очень медленно. Так, ну и теперь скоро мы уже закончим. Сейчас он снова делает атаку дрелью. Снова используем сплэшдаун для того, чтобы сломать сразу же руку. И выбиваем босса из своего робота. И тем самым заканчиваем с первым боссом. Снова заходим, снова перезаходим в консоль, опять же ловим сообщение о том, что нужно обновить систему. Свич-инцидент, так сказать. Ну и тем самым, как бы, нашими перезаходами в игру мы как бы скипаем катсцены, которые не скипаются в другом случае. И теперь можем переходить во второй мир.
So this is where the second title card of the game actually comes out, just to remind you which game you're actually playing. So yeah, because one of the main things now I mentioned.
Ну и после пролога нам как бы должно, нам как бы в очередной раз показывать название игры. Тут гениальнейший мув, когда ты типа попадаешь в какую-то большую локацию после пролога, и тебе снова показывают игру, как бы намекая на то, точнее, напоминая о том, во что ты вообще играешь. Так что, если вдруг вы забыли, играем мы в Genshin Impact.
For many veteran players, they may know who they are, but for us, we are just calling them Agent 1, Agent 2, and the captain who never speaks. Actually, no, he says one thing at the end of the game in post game, but yeah. I love the captain's move. He's just like, oh, he's just sitting there.
Знакомиться с нашей командой, с агентом 1, агентом 2. Мы являемся агентом 3, и также капитан, который за всю игру не скажет ничего, кроме какой-то одной последней фразы в самом конце игры.
They also apparently did this twice, where they took our silence as a yes, where most of the time most people would take silence as a no. So here we're going to learn a couple of things where, in order to upgrade our gear, which we will be doing, we need to collect two forms of currencies. The first one being hero points, which it gets us by collecting certain items and also.
Ну, теперь нам нужно будет собирать два вида коллектиблсов для того, чтобы получать улучшение нашей экипировки.
Ну,
Собственно говоря, мы будем собирать по уровням. Сейчас пойдем туда, куда мы вообще можем с самого начала пойти. Единственный доступный нам уровень.
Wait for a balloon and reset the game 6 times, but that's slow. So here if you actually hear the sound, this is actually a reference to the Wii U opening theme. Because this game was originally on the Wii U, its first game was originally on the Wii U, and now we have a third game on the Switch. So here we just this is where, if you've played the Octo expansion, this might seem like familiar to you, where we go into stages, do some challenges, and yeah, this one is quite simple, just get to the goal.
Просто как бы стоим, скипаем диалоги бесконечные. Ранее рассказывал про то, что когда мы заходим на этот стейдж, мы могли услышать звук с Ви, потому что в оригинале эта игра вышла на Ви. В оригинале, в смысле, первая часть этой игры вышла на Ви. И поэтому такая типа небольшая отсылочка на то, что вот его. Это же как прям в первой части. Что вызовет такое небольшое чувство ностальгии. Так. Здесь мы идем по рискованному пути, по левой части пути. Быстренько хватаем ключ. Хватаем еще один ключ, и теперь будет сложный сетап. Мы делаем очень сложный прыжок на краешек, буквально с краешка на краешек, и отлично получился. Это очень сложный трюк, потому что нужно, по сути, выровнять без особых указателей того, где мы находимся на карте. То есть мы как бы находимся в этой жиже. С этого непонятно, где мы находимся вообще, где наша моделька находится. Мы должны прям правильно встать на самый краешек этой платформы и прыгнуть ровно в тайминг. Собственно говоря, клапу раннерам за такие прыжки. Here we're going to paint a little bit, and we're going to collect sunken scrolls. As I mentioned earlier, another currency to upgrade our weapons is hero points. We need at least 18 total to get. Так, ну и, собственно говоря, сейчас будем собирать первый collectibles. Это sunken scroll. А также нужно будет собирать очки героя для того, чтобы улучшать нашу экипировку. Ну и, собственно говоря, теперь мы переходим за другого персонажа, с другим оружием. Ну, тут такой небольшой челлендж-ран. За эти хиропоинты. Нужно было сломать с помощью нашего оружия все кубы за раз, за один выстрел. Ранее прошел за 3 секунды, но, как сказал сам раннер, рекорд здесь это 1.98.
We're then going to jump here, and then we're going to grab this level right there to then super jump to that. We're then going to throw our small fire in that balloon, which gives us 100 power eggs. And we're going to also grab this egg container right here, which also gives us another 100 power eggs. So that's 200 right there.
Так, здесь очень интересные сетапы какие-то, гениальные. Мы с горочки накидываем на один из проходов... С горочки накидываем на один из проходов нашу краску для того, чтобы, типа, активировать его с самого верха. После чего через карту активируем суперпрыжок. Суперпрыжком оказываемся на платформе, где находился вход на этот уровень. И там, как бы, там получаем возможность собрать себе небольшие тайники с нашими апгрейд-поинтами, с валютой для того, чтобы улучшить. Ну и теперь у нас будет, по всей видимости, уровень на выживание. There's going to be more, and at the 30-second mark, the reason why I'm actually standing here is because there's going to be a power egg container. There's going to be a power egg container. Так, один урон получил немножко, не страшно. Нужно будет просто пока что доджить кольца, и встаем здесь, потому что в какой-то момент нужно будет собирать специальные штучки вот эти. Ну и, собственно говоря, первый спавнился именно там, где мы стояли. Так. И последнее еще. Отлично. Эту собрали. Жесть. Конечно, колец до хрена и больше. Но проходим.
around $3 million. So with your help, even more projects can be funded. And so far this event, we've raised $83,403. So everybody give yourselves a big round of applause for that. We are trying to hit 100K before the end of the event. We've got some amazing runs coming up as well to help incentivize you. Keep in mind that we have that Mario 64 incentive that still needs to be met. So get those donations in before that happens.
So here
Thanks,
before,
back to you.
oh sorry, here we're going to be collecting that sardinian. We're then going to be unlocking this 200. You're supposed to use this 600 right there to go across, but you can actually just do a nice jump. You can actually go across it like so. If then you want to then use your small fry to then unlock that one, you then want to grab this 100 right there, and you then want to activate the cutscene right here, where we get introduced to our antagonist group, which might surprise some people who haven't played the game. It is going to be the members of Deep Cut who is going to be our main antagonist throughout the entire time. There is this long cutscene that I can't skip. In any percent, you can skip this, but one of the things in restricted is that you can't actually skip this cutscene. So, but there's a finicky movement that allows you to skip this cutscene, but restricted doesn't allow you for that. So, yeah, as I just continue over through this cutscene before we get to the next site, any donation would be a donation here would be good. Well, I guess if we don't have any donations or anything to say, then okay. Yeah, it's just a PNG reader right there. Well, yeah, there's a PNG cardboard. I'm pretty sure our reader's online, but if he doesn't know, there's actually a PNG cardboard cutter of him.
Goodness, I'm so sorry. I missed you calling out to us here. So yeah, no, again, we can talk about Alzheimer's Foundation a bit more when it comes to the researchers themselves. You know, you don't have to take our word for it when it comes to the amazing work that they're doing. We can actually hear from one of them ourselves. Here's a quote from Professor Thomas Dearborg, who says, "First, I'd like to thank you for your generous support of our research on the brain's inflammatory cells, the so-called microglia cells, and their role in Alzheimer's disease. In recent years, more and more research has shown that these cells play a crucial role in the development of Alzheimer's disease, and about every fourth Swede has a variation of a gene, which is APOE, which increases the risk of being affected several times over. This gene also appears to be linked to the microglia and their role in Alzheimer's, and by using different methods, such as advanced gene and protein analysis and image analysis of microglia cells, we can try to understand in what way they can be harmful to the brain and what role APOE has. We hope to find new ways to influence these cells and to help the aging brain not to suffer from dementia." And this is actually linked to a very recent released medicine that has just come out that helps to reduce the plaque around the brain when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia symptoms. So, you know, your money, your donations directly go to fund research that is helping people today and in the future. So again, thank you all so very much for your generosity.
Yeah, what I did there when the donation was talking is that I actually did a menu right there, so to basically upgrade my weapon to Hero Shot 2. But it's very important because it increases the rate of fire of my weapon and makes this next boss fight a little bit easier. So yeah, you may notice the only thing we have to do to actually get to the end game of this game is we have to basically collect 3 pieces of treasure, and to do so we have to beat up 3 bosses as we go to this. So this is going to be boss 1, where we're going to have to go ahead and collect the treasure at the very end. And we're actually going to be fighting one of the members of Deep Cut, known as Fry. I'm not sure what many people's opinions on Fry are, but Fry is the least favorite of anyone who does speedrun in this game, mainly because this fight does have a little bit of RNG when it comes to especially phase 1. So Fry can have 3 attacks that she can go for. We're hoping that she doesn't go for one of them. There's 3 attacks that she can go for. There's one that we don't want to see, which basically only wastes time. The other 2 we would rather see. So let's see it. Nice. So we didn't see the RNG attacks there. We can see the eel downpour. So we're focusing on the ones with the masks. And we're trying to find one with the mask. I couldn't find the third one. Where is it? There it is. So you want to look up to find out which one has the mask, because the masks are the real ones. So here we go. Ink up this wall. And go ahead and face it. You can sometimes also get 1 and 4. So this cube that she's standing on, only one side is uninkable. So if you get the 1 and so you can get the 1 and 4 where you kind of have to move a little bit. It does lose you a little bit of time as well, but also, did you almost swear? This is a children's game. You shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, this one is pretty easy. If you just stand in one location, you should be able to get all the mass heals. Sometimes it's RNG whether or not you get them on the first loop or not, but I managed to get most of them. And then, okay, that's fine. Here we then knock out Fry, and then phase 3, she goes for this massive, like, I think it's like, it's not eel downpour, it's eel something. Her gimmick is that she'll always use like eel attacks, and that's her main gimmick. So here she's going to be using Great Moray Transformation, that's what it is. And we're going to actually take down most of them with a splashdown, and then we're just going to get the stragglers with our main weapon. And with that, we then climb this one more time, and then Fry goes down. And that is the first boss fight. Yes, I am. Oh, great. I do love this villain group. They do give me a lot of like Team Rocket villain group vibes, where they kind of like blast themselves out of there, and you know, we'll be seeing them later on as well. So here we go ahead, we wait a little bit, don't jump too early, otherwise you will fall and you have to do the last phase again, and we grab ourselves the first piece of the treasure. What is this piece of treasure that we're going to be using, and what is it going to be used for? Gonna have to wait and see. It might be the One Piece, actually. So yeah, here we're going to just mash through a little bit of text. This one is actually fast enough to not reset over, and also we don't want to, mainly because if you remember, before I entered the boss, I actually broke a box underneath. That way I can actually, after being the boss, I can just go down and just grab what's inside, which is another Sardinian. We are going to need a few more Sardinian because we do need to upgrade our weapon a little bit more later on. We'll explain why. But here we're going to grab ourselves 2 more egg containers to go over 100, and then we're going to use our small fry to then get rid of that 2,000 booze right in front of us, and then we're just going to go through this way, and we're then going to go into Sector 3, where if we have any quick donations, that will be a good time.
All right, well, I'd like to actually call out some attention to the prizes that we have available for now and for the rest of the marathon. With as little as a $5 donation, you can get in for a couple really cute plushies. We've got a Splatoon plushie, which is a squid form. It's a nice little pink one. We've got a Mario Star. We've got a Sakai Fox. We've got a Lucky Oni. We even got a Cuphead mug. So we've got all kinds of good stuff just at that $5 mark. And a bunch more above that. We've got, you know, a PC toolkit at a $10 donation mark. We've got a bunch of posters at the $15 mark. A bunch of mice and a keyboard at the $50 mark. So on and so forth. We got a ton of prizes out there. If you want more details, head on over to prizes.esamarathon.com to see what you can get in the running for. And remember that your donations are cumulative throughout the event. So you don't have to donate $200 all at once to get in for, say, the PS5. That can be a addition of all of your donations throughout the event.
We'll just pretend that death did not happen there. Don't worry about it. That's definitely on purpose. Anyway, we grabbed a few more things here. We want to open this level from there if we can. Don't worry, there is a backup if we don't open the level from there. That is going to be the next level we are going to have to play. We're going to grab a few more CDs and a few more things to get more upgrade points. We're going to grab this 100 right here, and then we're going to just awkwardly open the level like so. We're then going to jump across right here. We're going to grab this 100 right here, then jump all the way to the next level that we're going to play, which is time trial and errors. If we were good at the video game, if I was good at the video game, I would play this level with the charger. However, I am not good at the charger with this level with the charger, so instead I'm going to be playing with the squeeze instead, which is a little faster and a lot easier, but it just means I have to collect some backup eggs later. So here, the main gimmick here is we have 60 seconds to basically take out 60 targets. So the main gimmick with a squeezer is that if you tap the shot, you shoot far, but if you hold, you will then continuously fire. So here, we're gonna take this down. A little bit more, then a couple of targets right here. Each of these balloons do give us 1 power egg, so this is actually, even though we paid 30 to get in, please. Even though we paid 30 to get in, our payment was then repaid, and we actually got 30 extra for that, as well as the 1600. So that's all this stuff we're actually going to be doing in Site 3. There isn't really a boss hit to do or anything else, so instead, we're going to grab this balloon, which I want you guys to remember a little later about this balloon. So we're going to grab this balloon right here. We're going to pop it. We're then going to unlock that 700 right there. We're then going to grab this egg container right there. We're then going to open this 2000. We're going to grab this level. We're not actually going to play it, but that's going to be useful for later. And then we're going to head into Sector 4. Sector 4, there's one level that we're going to play, as well as you may have noticed on the map, there's also a signal that people think that Agent 1, Agent 2 think it's Gramps, but it's actually just another boss fight that we're going to be going into. So here is Sector 4. There's a couple of things that we actually want to grab while we're heading to the stage that we want to go. So we're going to be going across this grate. Make sure you don't squid when on grates because you will fall. And even though we are aquatic creatures, we don't like water. But logic does not make too much sense, but you're just going to have to accept it. So here, we're going to get ourselves another egg container. Here, we're going to have ourselves a hidden egg container. These hidden egg containers are always in set locations, so they are not completely random. We're going to be grabbing another egg container. Here, we're going to be grabbing the Sheldon scroll. Say hi to Sheldon, everybody. And then we're going to go inside this level and play Ink Fast Hot Shot. Again, if you are good at the video game, you can play this level with a charger and be a little bit faster, but since I'm not that good at the video game, I am going to be playing with Splash Shot Pro. Again, there are some egg containers that I know of that I'm going for because of this route. So here, we're going to do a 3. Then we're going to continue over here. We're going to do a little bit of a thing. We're going to shoot this target, and we're going to throw a burst bomb all the way there and a burst bomb down here to preemptively paint the platforms that we're going to be going on. So here, we're going to be waiting a little bit. And then you can see the platforms have already been painted a little bit. Here, we're going to do something risky. One burst bomb there, one burst bomb there, and that gets rid of all those targets. Here, we're going to take the safe way, where we just shoot all the targets, like so. And then here, we can then, if we go right here, we can shoot the targets. Make sure you don't hit the fail balloons, otherwise, well, I think we all know what happens if you hit a fail balloon. And then here, we bring it down with the thing, and we have another mission complete. So up next is going to be the Shiver boss, well, the next boss fight, which is Shiver. But before we do that, this is the point where we want to upgrade our weapon, but we're not quite there yet. So here we're going to make a jump right here to grab ourselves another 100 egg container. Here we're then going to grab ourselves another CD, which gets our heal upgrade points a little bit higher, but not quite where we want to. We're going to throw Small Fry over there. Hopefully he gets the box that I want. We're going to unlock this level. We're then going to get the 100 that's right here. We're then going to climb up here. If we did get the right box, we want to then go ahead and grab this 100 that's right here, and then fall down here to grab this accessory right here to get a few more upgrade points as we go ahead and jump to this level. All of this is done on a balloon cycle, so all the balloons are on a cycle, and this balloon cycle is right there, so we can throw Small Fry to grab ourselves another 100 points. Then we're going to use Small Fry to then break this 300 right here, as well as we grab this Sardinian, which is the last Sardinian we're going to grab. That's out of our way. We're then going to grab this hidden 100 that is right here. Thank you. And then we're going to grab ourselves another 100 that is right over here. Callie does have a question, an exclamation mark. We're going to show what that is later. We're going to get this 500 right here, and then we're going to grab the CD right here, which is just 18 upgrade points total, which then allows us to get ourselves the splat bombs, which have its uses, the sensor, which is going to be useful for one fight later on, And most importantly, we're going to be grabbing ourselves the upgraded hero shot, which is basically our gun, but be able to fire as much as an aerospray, which is really, really fast. We're also going to grab this 10 rush right here, just for safety. And this upgraded hero shot makes this next boss fight a complete joke. So the main cool thing about this boss fight is that, well, you'll kind of see in just a... Actually, you will see in just a moment, but yeah, if we have like one quick donation before I actually start this boss fight, because there's a small cutscene here, that would be great.
No, but we do have that incentive coming up. I just want to remind everybody that we are $1,889.99 out of the $3,000 that we need to make Super Mario 64 upgrade from 30 star to 70 star. So keep getting those donos in. You've got, what, about an hour and a half to make that happen? So we'd love to see it happen.
So yeah, main gimmick is that Shiva rides on a Megalodon. I think that's pretty cool, but this boss fight, because of the upgraded hero shot, is a joke. She's supposed to do this whole thing where she like fires torpedoes, but you'll see very quickly that we do so much damage to the shock phase that we never actually get to see that phase. So this is phase 1. That's done. The platform actually does sink, and it took me a long time to notice, but there's circles, and the blue ink level actually rises every time. It took me actually months after this game releases to actually me figure that out. But yeah, that's something to know. But here's phase 2, which you're gonna get some deja vu, where we do the exact same thing again. Yep. And then here comes phase 3, where I wonder what we're gonna be doing. There is something that can happen on phase 3. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen, but it can happen. There's a little glitch that can happen with Shiva where for some reason she keeps on like continuously attacking. Hope we don't get that, but yeah, we don't get that. So here, we do have to play a little bit safe here, and then here, and then afterwards, we're gonna actually intentionally take this damage so that we can then get the quick kill, and then use the splashdown to then take out Shiva, and that is Shiva complete. Oh, great. And oh, they deep cut blast away again. Yeah, here we're gonna stay right in the middle because here comes the super jump pad. There we go. And then here we can actually grab it with this one without jumping. And like before, we're actually going to close out the game because we can skip a cutscene. So as we load in, we'll then remember, I did tell you for you guys to actually remember the balloon. And there's actually something really cool about the balloon that we broke earlier, is that when you restart the game and load, all the balloons come back, which means that when we jump to this level again, we can actually shoot the balloon again and actually get an additional 100 eggs for free. So yeah, that's a cool thing that you can do when you choose to reset the game. That's only done once, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a cool thing that you can do, and it's actually one of the 400 backups that I have to get. So yeah, this is unfortunately the longest pipe in the entire game that we have to go across. This is where we're actually going to be ending up going later on. Somehow we're going to have to get past that. We don't know how, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Site 5. I should probably talk a little bit about the route changes. I actually made the original route for this game. However, High-Tech's another a Japanese runner of this game actually made a better route using mine as like a standpoint. And so we actually played 2 different levels. We actually played 1 extra level in Site 3 and 1 level in Site 2. But now instead we play the dance level and also a level that we're going to be coming up right now. But before that level, we're going to grab onto that geyser. We're then going to stand on the corner right here to then shoot so that we can unlock this level and then jump to it. Like so. Then we're going to open this 800 ooze right here, but as we do that, we're then going to fall down here, grab this 100 eggs here, and jump right back up. Like so, which is really nice. Then we're going to do a little bit of an ooze skip, which is actually the easiest ooze skip in the game. All you have to do is... There we go. And then we go inside this level and play the only level that we actually play inside 5 for this category. It used to be we don't want to play this level, but then it turns out that even with the load times, the other levels are kind of slower. So yeah, this level is kind of a fun one. Like, who here is a fan of Spider-Man? Who's a Spider-Man fan here? Yeah, we basically get to play as a little bit about Spider-Man, where we basically get to zip over the entire neighborhood of these Octarians. So, pretty simple stage. It does take over your bomb, but we don't really get a bomb anyway, so it's absolutely fine. Here, we just want to go try and just use as much of the zip as we can. This is our fastest movement option. The brush is not that slow of a movement option, but the zip cast is much faster. Here, there's a little bit of a thing where you want to go to the side of this wall here, you want to jump up there, almost fall off, but that's absolutely fine. Then the game wants you to fight these enemies, but you can just jump over, and that's the stage done. So right now we're going to be collecting the last two. We're going to be collecting the last 2 power eggs. Remember, I did say the exclamation mark on Callie. Callie now basically makes it so that she's now the best squid sister, especially in this game. That's not a controversial take to have, but you throw the 3,000, you talk to Callie, who kindly gives you 100 free power eggs, and then you grab 100 power eggs somewhere around here. There it is. And then we go ahead and go into the final sector of the game, where we'll only be playing the boss, and that's about it. So I know there's like plenty of stages here, but these stages are slow. Also, with all the power eggs that we have collected exactly enough for that. Actually, we collected 24 over, but that's absolutely fine. But yeah, with all these stages, we're going to be fast approaching the final ooze that we're going to need for regular power eggs, as coming up like that, as coming up after these 2 ink rails. So after this ink rail and after this ink rail, we're then going to open up the final ooze of the game. We're also going to grab this stage just in case I do something stupid, which can happen. So here, we're climbing up basically to the top of this building that's on water. There's a lot of plot reasons as to what this place is. It's something about apparently humanity surviving down in this like underground thing. Yes, this is underground, by the way. Nice, we didn't fall up, we didn't fall down. And you know, this is like how humanity like survived here for a couple of years, but then people wanted to build a rocket and get out, and then all of a sudden humanity now is extinct. It's a whole long plot story, but anyway, here comes a lot of people's favorite idol in this game, Big Man. And he's actually going to do a reference. Not quite JoJo. You're going to have to think within the IPs that this company has. I don't think Nintendo owns Sonic. You're getting close. It's a Mario reference, yes. Specifically, Sunshine! It's a Sunshine reference, everybody! Nintendo remembers Sunshine's existence. If you remember, I actually forgot what stage this was supposed to be. Someone can remind me. But yeah, this is a Sunshine reference where our main goal is effectively find the real Big Man out of these fake manta rays. So that is effective it is. I love how they make sure that they actually pick the right shade of blue for this fight. It's like, well, green, or cyan, that's the right color. Yeah, I think Serena 1? I think that's the name. But anyway, the reason why we actually grabbed the scan upgrade is that actually can tell us which one's the real one by looking for the pink cursor. So it does make this fight a little bit easier. However, it is very easy to actually lose track of Big Man on phase 3. Is that actually all 3 phases? No, that's phase 2. Never mind. So phase 3 is actually where it's very, very easy to lose track of Big Man. Because he ends with each phase of the main gimmick is that there's more and more times he will then split, and it's very easy to lose track of him. So I'm gonna have to pay a little bit more attention on this phase. So there's one, there's another one. He also now shoots torpedoes instead of splat bombs, which is actually a little bit more annoying. Oh no, where is he? There you are. You're right here. There you are. And there goes Big Man. And that is the final requirement to get to endgame. So here, Big Man is going to do his dramatic exit. That's his dramatic exit, ladies and gentlemen. And just remember, do not fall off here, because if you do fall off, you're going to have to repeat the phase 3 again. And then we're going to grab the thing. We're going to do the final reset of the game. We have to press up twice. And we're going to be heading into endgame. But before we have to go into endgame, there's like one more. Well, I say one more thing we have to do. We're gonna just have to make sure that we press up 3 times and press up and A 3 times, and not just mash A. So hopefully we don't actually accidentally just mash A. So yep. Sure, let's go. Last time I'm ready. And now we have basically a minute cutscene followed by another minute cutscene. So donations, announcements, anything like so. Now's a good time.
Right on. Well, we do have $5 coming in from Spoiled Freckle, and they say, "Hey, what a great runner with great commentary. Thanks, Crisisaurus. But will someone please get them some water? Hydrate, hydrate."
Hey. All right, someone's on their way getting water.
Excellent. And then again, I do want to bring up that we have some incentives that are yet to be met. We do have that Super Mario 64 30-star run that's going to be coming up soon. We want to add 40 more stars to that, and we are currently at $1,889 or $1,889.99 out of the $3,000 that we need to make that happen. So we can get that upgrade going. We also have a character choice open for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, if you want to pick between King Boo, Rosalina, Waluigi, or Link, go ahead and get those donations in. Right now, the only donation for that is a character choice for Rosalina. She's got $1. So you can influence this with literally a donation of any amount to make that happen. But first, let's get that Mario 64 in. We really, really, really want to see that happen, and we really want to try and break some records here. Our goal for today is to beat ESA Winter 22, and that was $106,000. We're at $83,593 right now. I would really like to say that this would be our biggest winter event ever. Wouldn't you? So let's make it happen.
Yeah. Right, yeah, let's actually go and make this like the biggest winner event happening. Right now, we're going to be entering into what it's called the officially called the Rocket Battle phases. The Rocket Battle, there are, well, we say 4, but there's actually like 5 phases. There's actually like 7 phases to the Rocket Battle. So yeah, the first one is actually going to be, I think, the most technical one of the bowl. Because the main gimmick of the first phase is that we actually don't have a weapon. We actually have to only use small fry throughout the entire first part of the section. And the reason why I say it's the most technical is that there's actually a fludder cycle that we actually want to make. So fludders are these big enemies with like a shower of like the enemy ink, and there's a cycle that we want to make. So hopefully we make this cycle. So I also do love the music in this part because it's a Metal Gear Squid. But we don't have to be too stealthy. So here we have to stand on one side and throw small fry on the other. Here we're going to throw small fry to manipulate the enemies to go exactly where I want to, and then blow all of them up in one go. So that's really nice. Here we get the introduction of our fludder, which our small fry can actually stop in place. So we're going to stop that in place. We're going to go on this lift, and then we're going to attempt to jump on here, and then recall it, and then use the momentum that we get from that jump, from him going forward to jump. Here we're going to throw a small fly onto this propeller, and then let go and then throw it onto this propeller. You can see on the right there's a fludder that we want, and there's a fludder that's moving, and that's the cycle and that's what we want to get into a good fludder cycle. So here we're gonna go down through some grates, and get this geyser. We're then going to recall it to then open up this geyser so we can go up. We're then going to swim through here, grab the key, and this is where we know if we made the cycle or not. We did, and then we make sure we have to knock that out so that we can then make this thing go through. We then want to recall our small fry so that the geyser vent, so then the flood event comes towards us, and we made the cycle. Which then allows us to take the floater to then go across this map to grab the second key that is right here. We're then going to drop down, open this vault, use small fry to trigger that. Then we're going to use small fry to stand here as we go ahead and swim upwards. And then I'm going to use small fry to then activate that, small fry again to then activate that, and then we're going to see small fry absolutely bully this charger for playing the charger. After then defeating this enemy, we then are given a key, which then allows us to then leave this room and finally get ourselves our weapons back to then play the rest of the section. So we're gonna mash A right here so that we can get our weapons back. And that is section 1. So while section 1 is the most technical, section 2 is also pretty technical because while there isn't a cycle to make, there is a it's just technical because there's like a lot of special weapons that we're going to be having to use. So I have messed up the this section quite a few times in practice. This is because in like true any percent, you don't actually play these two sections. You actually just straight up skip them by doing a interesting set of movements. But because this is restricted, we are going to have to play. At least we get to actually listen to this nice song. I am going to be commentating over it most of the time because there's a lot that goes along in this section. But in the next section, you'll probably be able to hear it a little bit more as well. We'll get to that. So here we're going to be using our Trizuka to basically take out all these enemies as soon as quick as possible. We're then going to grab this armor. We could use this special, but we can actually just throw small fry, which then makes all the enemies appear. And then we just quickly take down all these enemies. We use the worst special in the game. I don't know how many buffs it still has. It's probably most competitive players still say it's the worst special in the game, but it's good enough here. Then we go ahead and use the reef slide, angle it so that we don't accidentally fall off, and take down all of these enemies in one go. Then we're going to climb up this lift. We're going to then switch to the bomb. We're using the D-pad. We're then going to throw the bomb, grab this special, then throw the special to grab the ink refill. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get the bomb timing perfectly, but that's absolutely fine. We're going to grab this thing. We're going to go over this side. We're then going to activate the splash and take down all those bowling pins. We're then going to throw small fry that way, and then we're going to throw those bombs so that to take out both of these enemies at the same time. That's actually something I struggled with a lot in practice today. We're then going to grab these triple egg strikes. We're actually going to keep the triple egg strikes. We're actually going to take out these enemies manually. And then what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to take the triple egg strikes. We're going to defeat this enemy who's by himself. And then we're going to use the triple egg strikes. So then throw one there, throw one there, throw one there. And then we're going to try with our thing to take down the final enemy that's right there. Couldn't find him for a little bit. And then we have the crab tank, which we're not actually going to use because the crab tank is actually extremely slow. So we're going to go here, we're going to grab onto this propeller thing, just barely made it. And we're just going to sit here for just a quite little bit. And then we'll get close enough, we can then jump. And then we're actually going to throw small fire as a distraction. As we go ahead and climb up and finish Sector 2. You might have noticed that there's like a couple of specials that didn't get seen. There's one more special that we're going to see one more time, but a little bit later. But now here comes from two pretty heavy movement-based.
Это был сектор 2, достаточно хорошо был пройден.
You know what the greatest part of having any section called lift? Yes, you're gonna have to wait because this is an auto scroller. So yeah, there's nothing really much that goes on. The only thing we can like move faster is like activating the switches for the lifts. But yeah, this entire area is like a 2-minute auto scroller. So yeah, donations, incentives.
Происходят
Now's a good time.
невероятные мувы. У меня отсутствует пока что информация, поэтому я вам не могу сказать, что конкретно происходит.
I've also got a $50 donation from Venom Neon.
Этот уровень — это просто автоскроллер на 2 минуты. Мы ждем, пока платформа доберется до конца.
And then we've also got a $5 donation from Fuginator. Says great event as always. Thank you very much. And finally, we have a $100 donation from an anonymous donor.
Не заходите в чат, кто сейчас слушает. Это просто не нужно. Лучше не знать.
Mario 64 upgraded. So we are getting ever so close with that. We're just a little over $1,000 away. Let's make it happen, folks.
Yeah, let's beat that Super Mario 64 upgrade to 70-star randomized incentive. That would be really fun to see.
Сейчас пока зачитывали донаты. Итак, сейчас мы на другой лифт пришли. Здесь вообще нет никакого шанса побыстрее пройти эту секцию. У нас есть вообще, вариант немного ускорить активацию лифтов, но кроме этого ничего другого. Мы заранее убиваем противников. Это последний лифт во всей игре. Больше лифтов быть не должно. Лифтов. Это не важно.
Here's a high, here's a buy. Like I said, one more donation if you have it is also will be pretty good. This section is almost over.
Сейчас еще пока будут зачитывать донаты, потому что ничего сильно интересного не происходит, вы уже это все видели. Ну да, кстати, привет, чат, я с вами не поздоровался. Ну и вы, собственно, со мной не поздоровались, так что это... Мы квиты, так сказать.
From private individuals and companies. Alzheimer's Fund was able to distribute almost $3 million last year, and that was enough to grant about 19% of all of the...
Я все вместе, я и ТТС, и не ТТС. Да, собственно, я хотел вам сказать, вот немного отвлекся, хотел вам сказать, что он не смог допрыгнуть, и теперь придется делать весь сегмент заново. Полностью оригинальная мысль моя. Да, всем привет, ребята. Я сейчас написал команду. Именно почему я написал, потому что именно об этом сейчас и говорят на трансляции. Там зачитывают донаты, как раз говорится, об Альцгеймере, и текущий марафон собирает деньги в фонд Альцгеймер Foundation.
Finding cures and preventative measures for this.
So after that accidental fall, we don't want to talk about ever again.
После того случайного падения, да, как я уже говорил, пришлось все переделывать. И, к сожалению, это вообще произошло на последнем лифте, когда мы менее всего ожидали ошибку. Мы сейчас внутри ракеты, и вот данный уровень мы просто должны будем здесь подниматься. Как сказал ранее, подниматься и стрелять. В принципе, хорошее описание, по-моему.
If we do touch the fuzz, we get sent back to the last checkpoint that we just went through. But luckily, that's not gonna happen. I don't think. Here we're gonna go activate that, and here The game does give us a special weapon, the crab tank, to take care of these enemies right up here. But you can actually throw small fry to effectively distract the enemies because they like to target small fry over you, and then you can just go through. So that's that section. So that's that, and then the only other dangerous part is remembering how to jump. So not really here, but right here, I do have to remember how to jump. I do remember how to jump. That's good. And then this is where fuzzies get a little bit more dangerous because they're like on your way here. You want to climb up this wall.
Так.
Get off on the other side.
Да, в общем,
And then here's some bowling pins.
на этом уровне нам дают особое оружие, и нам нужно еще опасаться фиолетовых вот этих участков, потому что, насколько я помню, мы в итоге можем на последний чекпоинт отправиться. Нам оружие не нужно, которое нам дали особенное, потому что у нас есть микрорыб, которым можно отвлекать врагов.
The second part of section 4, which is the zipcaster section. This section is also a bit technical because there is a cycle that I want to make on the second section. You can see the moving platform up there. If I am fast enough, there is a cycle that I can make so that I can not have to wait too long with that platform. So let's see if I can get the cycle. So here, we throw a platform on that enemy, we then take out this enemy, which then gets us the special weapon of the Zipcaster, which allows us to be Spider-Man once more. I'm pretty sure they got their inspiration from Spider-Man.
Мы взяли зипкастер, оружие такое. И у нас сейчас ставка какая-то стоит. Успеет ли за доведенное время? Это вообще к Сплатуну было? Я надеюсь. Да, мы вот с того самого уровня получили зипкастер, про который я сказал. Между тем у нас уже прошел час минута, и estimate час 17. Фиолетовый не касаемся, фиолетовый это плохо, конкретно здесь, но так фиолетовый это крутой цвет. Все, эта секция закончена. Здесь вот как раз на экране загрузки можно увидеть ракету, про которую я говорил. Ну и тут тоже ее можно увидеть, конечно. В общем, здесь можно понять, насколько быстро ты поднимаешься или медленно от одного диалога. То есть, если ты его услышишь, если ты услышишь определенный звук, тогда ты быстро поднимаешь. Точнее, не услышишь, тогда ты поднимаешься быстро. Если медленно, то услышишь. В общем, здесь ничего раннер не будет делать. Он, видели, положил контроллер свой. Здесь примерно на протяжении 3 минут не будет происходить геймплея.
We've got a $50 donation from username Niels. Says, in all likelihood, this will be my last donation this marathon, but I succeeded in breaking my cumulative donation record. Well, congratulations to you, username Niels, and thank you for your generosity. And then finally, we've got $200 coming in from Borgon. Says, let's get that 70-star upgrade for a longer ESA. I agree. Absolutely. The more ESA, the better. I'm not ready for it to end. I don't think anybody else is either. So that brings us to $2,124.99 out of the $3,000 that we need. So we're what, $875 plus a penny away from making that happen? Let's make it happen.
Also, just want to let you guys know, we are apparently $200 away from actually also
Так что у нас
getting
идет после
$80,000
Сплатуна?
left. So let's see what
Бомбермен
we actually get from
64, потом
this run.
Супер
We
Марио
has
64, потом Марио Карт 8 Deluxe,
left
который, я
to go. But
думаю, вы
anyways,
ждете, потому
Buck,
что
please,
там
Buck
целый
King,
час 30,
this
между
is
прочим,
Mr.
будет
Grizz.
идти игра.
He's the last man
После
on
него
this
будет
planet that is
Metroid
trying to
Dread,
make it
дальше
the entire world
Resident
map
Evil
where
Village и потом
by
Super Mario
by
Odyssey.
making them all like
Сегодня последний день
making them
марафона,
real hairy, and we
напоминаю.
don't want to do, and we want to stop him from doing that. Otherwise, there will be no more inklings and octolings throughout the entire area.
Конкретно сейчас происходит просто
And
кат-сцена,
so,
которую
yeah,
мы
that's pretty
ждем.
much the entire plot. We're gonna do something that
А если в целом, значит,
we are going to space, the final frontier.
в космос сейчас полетим.
Yes, but how we're gonna get there? I mean, we have the rocket just went, right? So I was like,
Но не с ракетой,
how are we gonna get there? Like, does anyone have any ideas?
потому что она уже улетела. Конечно.
Unfortunately, they're in a different
Пузыри надо экономить для
Man,
перманентной
how are we gonna
випки.
catch that rocket? Only if it was like a massive tornado with a shark. Maybe that's how we get there. Oh, hey, are you guys gonna help us get up there? I think you are.
Так, сейчас вот эти ребята помогут нам. Ну как помогут?
So, oh yeah, here's the. Okay, so here's a bunch of eels that's gonna create a massive tornado. All we now need is a shark to get up there. Oh, here's a shark. So now all we're gonna do is using the and also yeah, here's Big Man's contribution.
А, если кто-то ничего не понимает, сейчас вы
We get
увидите,
this
что будет.
sick ass outfit, which needs to be an outfit in the actual game. And yeah, we're gonna be riding on a shark, using the
Да с
momentum
помощью
of the shark
торнадо
and the tornado to super jump all the way to space.
мы
And
поднимемся
also
в
pick up
космос.
Star Wars. But yeah, this is now going to be the main boss fight, Mr. Grizz. There's a
Что и главное,
two
основная,
phases of this
сейчас
boss
основной
fight.
босс-файт будет.
This is phase 1, and in this phase there's 3 sections that we're gonna have to do. The
С
first 2 isn't that bad.
трехсекционной
The third one is where we
первой
have to,
фазой
try and go really fast because there's something
босс-файта сейчас будем справляться.
We'll get to that in a moment. This is how the main boss fight works. I also love his dialogue, by the way.
А мы дышим в космосе через наушники специально.
So yeah, this is the main scary boss that we're gonna have to fight. This is like the final boss of the entire game. The first section is we actually gonna have to grab these big golden power eggs to effectively break down these fuzzy oozes. So the main gimmick of the entire game is going to be used. That should be fine.
Здесь нужно собрать все вот, да, эти желтые сферы.
Anyway, we can try this again, but main gimmick here is gonna be
Придется заново
grab these golden
перезапустить.
eggs and
Так,
we're going to. Okay, that didn't work. Where are you going? Okay, that was a bit weird of the game, but that's fine. We're going to grab these power eggs. We're going to need a certain amount for each fuzzy ooze, and when we get to Mr.
нужно
Grizz,
будет собрать
we're gonna have
определенное
to,
количество вот этих сфер.
break down that thing and use small fry to effectively break one of his I don't know what they're called, but I don't even want to know what they're called. But that's how the boss fight actually works.
Да, каждую из вот этих вот
So that's
пятен
phase 1. Well, that's
мы можем
the
сломать с
section
определенным
1.
количеством
Section
тех
2 is where
сфер
things start getting a little bit
желтых.
creative. Despite the fact that the planet is behind us, there's a downwards gravity. This is not like Mario Galaxy where we can go around the rocket. And the reason why that is important is that in phase 2, he's going to introduce something known as rotation, where he's going to curl up in a ball and he's going to rotate the rocket. And we
В общем,
have to
давай,
make sure
мы
that we
сейчас, если
don't
что, на
go
ракете
right,
находимся,
well, we die.
и
So, yeah, we're
тут
gonna
все равно
grab
и
these
будет
power eggs,
притяжение.
overactivate, wait a little bit because these fuzzy ooze work a little bit differently from normal ones. And then gonna kill all these enemies as much as we can, and then we're gonna basically just make sure that we keep on the rocket rotation and not die. So nothing really too complicated here. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab these power eggs. And yeah, we're gonna throw small fry so that we can do a little bit of damage early. Unfortunately, I did miss, but that is absolutely fine. This one, this third section is actually a hard section because I'm actually going to go something known as early rotation. So depending on where your Inkling is, after he does his first like major big attack, he will try and rotate the rocket, but only if you are at a certain position by that point in time. So I am going to focus a little bit because I
Да,
do
всё в
actually
порядке.
have to move fast. I mean, I know this is a speedrun, I'm supposed to be moving fast, and I've died too many times in this speedrun, but it's fine. So here we're going to move forward, make this incredibly tight jump right here, make it back, and then we're going to throw the thing, if the game allows me. So we're going to have to jump forward, see if we get the early rotation. Unfortunately, no, we did miss the early rotation, which is absolutely fine. So hopefully we don't accidentally die
У меня, в
here.
общем, не
So
получилось
now Cygnus is
трюк
starting to
сделать
rotate the rocket, and yes, the planet is that way, but the gravity is down.
там с
Don't ask.
поворотом ракеты.
But yeah, so we have to
Но
make
это
sure
не,
that we don't fall off,
не
but
особо
luckily we can just,
большая
take a
проблема.
gentle stroll down through this entire rocket and, enjoy the nice music. Because, yeah, make sure you don't touch the ooze, because if you do touch the ooze, you will die. And, yeah, we want to bend
Я
ground,
только
make
сейчас
sure we
понял,
have
что я
7
слушаю звук с оригинальной трансляции, я смотрю ее у нас на канале. Но, собственно, там не такая большая задержка. Так, первая фаза завершена этого босса. Как я говорил, у него 3 фазы, вот эти 3 как раз было, 3 пятна.
Fun gimmicky stuff where he's unfortunately going to get off the rocket. Oh no, it's getting off the rocket. Oh no, we died. That's it, game over. GG's. It's not like a spaceship is going to come up and save us, right? I'll speak of a devil.
Совершенно неожиданно нас подбирает космический корабль, а этот медведь, он как раз, он слез с ракеты.
Apparently at stake, and so we're going to have to, work with your enemy to defeat the greater evil, or something along those lines. But as we do that, we're going to effectively these pop stars are basically going to support us, and by support us, they're going to be singing the final boss tune instead. Also, I love the
Все вот эти ребята помогут нам.
Yeah, this is another cutscene you can't skip. Fun fact, all these cutscenes can be skipped if you've already watched them, which for a new game speedrun is completely pointless and useless. So if you are doing new game plus categories, yeah, that's the thing.
В общем, все эти катсцены можно скипнуть, если ты уже как бы проходил игру. Да, значит, как я и сказал, все боссы, как я уже говорил, все боссы будут нам помогать загасить медведя.
Yes, you are seeing a fish transform into space. This is completely normal for Splatoon logic, by the way. Lend him our powers! Yes. For those tuning into this game, you're about to see a giant fish versus a giant bear fighting on a rocket in space.
Значит, сейчас вы увидите великолепную битву огромной рыбы против огромного медведя.
Yeah, so we have so because this game really loves the number 3, we have 3 minutes and 33 seconds to prevent the rocket from actually going down.
Да, в общем, у нас 3 минуты 33 секунды, чтобы предотвратить падение ракеты на Землю.
Even if I do somehow take 3 minutes and 33 seconds, it's still underestimate, so that's completely fine. So the way to do this is, unfortunately, despite the game loves the number 3, there's actually 4 phases to this fight. So here we're gonna go.
В этой битве сейчас будет 4 фазы. Сейчас главный герой сел в этот космический корабль. Да, в общем, мы не нам не нужно слишком быстро завершать вот эту фазу, потому что это может помешать нам, ну это в общем может сместить немного то, как будут проходить другие фазы.
The reason why we don't want to do it too fast is because we want to make sure that we can get there in time after small fry hits the thing. So you're going to see like a massive like punch out where the bear's punching a fish in the face. There's a lot of lore I have to explain everything, and we don't have time for that. So that's phase 2. Phase 3 is similar to phase 1.
Так, уже прошло несколько фаз, уже третья
A
фаза.
little bit more of these fake fuzzballs that we do have to annoy, so all we have to do is just fly a little bit to the left, grab this armor just for safety, and then we're going to then clear up the fuzzball that's right there. These enemies are going to show up. I'm going to wait until just they attack so that I can then take out at least one. Then these two are going to then come down. Oh yeah, you can't fall in this map. That's fine. And then we're going to clear out these ones. We're going to try and see if we can get like a slightly faster cycle, which we just did, which is really nice. If you're fast enough, you can get rid of that fuzzball before those slosher enemies actually do any damage. And then here, we're going to clear up the last fuzzball of the game, where we're going to
Это убираем последние,
we're
значит,
then going to throw a bomb right that way so that these ones then
пятно, шар,
get
как это
KO.
еще
We're then
назвать.
going to fuzzball again.
Прям последний
These
в
enemies
игре
come out,
в
throw a
целом.
bomb that way to distract this enemy so I can get rid of it because he does have a faceplate. And then we're going to get rid of all these enemies, go back in here, take down the final fuzzball, and yeah, time is actually coming up very shortly. Time will be on.
Сейчас будет тайм, время сейчас закончится, остановится точнее, уже скоро. Время. 1:15:49. Нет оверстимейтом, что великолепно. Клапа. Ран закончен. Хорошая игра, жаль, короткая, правда, действительно. Поздравляю тех, кто выбрал, что раннер успеет за